welcome back you guys. We are here with a new video and today I'm going to be answering some questions you've been asking me here on Instagram and on YouTube. Before I do start, Happy New Year, Happy 2020. It's the new year and I'm like so inspired and so excited for this year. I have a lot of amazing things going on, a lot of things I would really want to focus on creatively. So I just want to wish everybody a happy new year and an amazing and successful 2020. Just wanted to touch base on that. So happy new year and let's go ahead and get started. So my first question is, how do you start building your kit? And I think this is sort of a broad question because I think it really just depends on the person and how long you've been doing makeup, and it really just depends on your budget. My biggest advice for anybody who's just starting and wants to build a kit, don't overwhelm yourself watching videos on YouTube of people that have been doing this for years and already have a huge collection like myself. I'm finally at a point where I know I have everything I need. I know what products I use the most, and this is all gonna be trial and error. The longer you do makeup, the more you're gonna realize what it is that you really use and what you don't use. So at first, there might be moments where you feel like you're spending a lot of money and then you don't use certain products. That's gonna happen, and don't be hard on yourself about that. But my greatest advice to you is make sure you purchase products you could use for more than one thing, because you're not gonna initially have a crazy amount of money to invest in every single product. So make sure you know how to utilize one product for many things. That's my greatest advice. So I started with drugstore, which was a big mistake. I do not recommend doing that. I recommend, if you're going to become a professional makeup artist, you need to have professional grade makeup. That's not to say that you can't have certain drugstore products in your kit, because you totally can, like mascara, sometimes eyeliners, depending like that. But if you're initially wanting to spend money on, say, skincare or base products, foundations, concealers, I 100% recommend you don't buy drugstore for those things, simply because you're gonna spend a lot of money on products that don't have high grade ingredients. So if you want to build a kit and are limited in money, invest in a foundation palette. RCMA has an amazing foundation palette that you can use as foundation and concealer. If you want a lighter consistency, you just mix it in with a highlighter or a moisturizer and you have a tinted moisturizer. So I recommend you do that as to going to the drugstore, spending $10 per shade, and you're not gonna have quality grade foundations. And don't get me wrong, I love drugstore products and I love drugstore foundations and all things from drugstores. However, if you're going to be charging people, I recommend you buy quality things and things that you know are gonna last on the person. They're spending money on you, so they want you to use products that they probably don't have. So that's my advice to you. Take your time, don't get overwhelmed. You will get your dream kit at one point. Trust me, it's gonna take a lot of time, but you will get there. The second question, what was your biggest fear when you went freelance besides money? This is a really, really good question. I don't think someone's ever asked me about that, but obviously, yes, it's so scary going from having a job where you know you're going to have money in 2 weeks or in a week. Going full freelance obviously is scary financially because you have to sacrifice so much. You have to sacrifice buying Starbucks, you have to sacrifice managing your money, you have to be good at saving money for the times where you're not working. I think my biggest fear was how people would take it, particularly maybe my family. I think I was scared at the way people would take it when I told them what I did for a living. I would get a lot of people saying, oh, you do this for fun? What's your real job? Or what's your actual job? And it's like, some people think makeup is not a real job, and it really is. And it's a big adjustment when you tell people at first that you're self-employed. You don't know how people are gonna take it. Some people can be judgy. So I guess my biggest fear was the way people would perceive me. Now I'm in the mindset of I own that I'm self-employed. I'm proud to be a business owner. I'm proud to do what I love for a living. So that fear kind of went away shortly after. So I hope that answered your question. So the next question is, how do you start building your portfolio? I started building my portfolio by doing test shoots. And if you guys don't know what test shoots are, they're basically a photo shoot where a photographer, a model, a stylist, a makeup artist, a hairstylist collaborate and you create this whole concept. When you have a job doing a photo shoot, you basically do the same thing, only none of you are getting paid for it. At the end of the day, you are all collaborating, so you add to your portfolio. So I would just say reach out to local photographers that want more stuff in their portfolio. There are hairstylists out there that also want to do the same thing. So just reach out to people in your area. Go on Instagram, look up hashtags, look up your area photographer. Like I would say LA photographer because I'm around the LA area. So just do a lot of research on people around your area and see who would want to collaborate and create amazingness. And I think doing test shoots, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing makeup or whatever field you're in. I've been doing makeup for almost 9 years and I still do test shoots, and I love doing test shoots because when you become a full-time freelance makeup artist, sometimes you're so caught up in doing things that the client wants you to do and your creativity kind of goes out the door. So doing test shoots is a great way for you to maintain your creativity. And it really, personally, when I do test shoots, I get so happy and I get so excited because I could finally be creative and I could create something that I want to do. So I think it's a great opportunity for people to build their portfolios. Some of your best work will be from free work. So take those opportunities. Don't take them for granted. Something always comes out of doing test shoots. You build relationships, you get to network, you get to learn. So I really recommend, if you want to start your portfolio, go out and do test shoots, have fun, be creative. Our job is amazing and you can create whatever you want to do. So if you have a concept in mind, go for it. What is the hardest look you've ever had to do? Whoa. I actually got this question and I've been running it through my head. I guess I'd say one of the hardest looks I ever had to do was probably for one of my first music videos I ever did in LA. I was in a house in Malibu and there was a lot of people in the photo shoot, and the hardest look I had to do was I did drag on 3 guys and it was very difficult because I had never done it. However, they came out looking amazing. The client was so happy. But I think drag makeup, whoever does drag makeup, I applaud you and I respect you because it's not easy work. It's very difficult. So I would say those were the hardest looks I had to do, was drag. So I hope that answered your question. What is your current foundation at the moment? My favorite foundation at the moment is the Dior Face and Body Backstage Foundation. It is absolutely the most perfect foundation in my opinion. It looks amazing in person. It looks amazing on camera. It is not heavy. It's a light to medium coverage. It's water resistant, sweat proof. It's just an amazing foundation to have in your kit, and I really recommend you guys try it out if you're looking for a foundation that looks like skin. I like the Dior simply because it has slightly more coverage without it looking cakey because it's still a water-based formula. Can you give tips for freelance makeup artists? So this is kind of a broad question. I think my greatest advice would be patient and be perseverant, because you need to have those 2 things being in this industry. It has taken me so long to finally be able to work for myself. That's gonna take a lot of time and you just have to be patient. You have to make sure that you start building relationships That is the biggest key in this industry, is building relationships and genuine relationships, because people pick up on real genuineness and the not so genuine. So I recommend just being perseverant, practice as much as you can, get experience, assist. This is something that I cannot stress enough, and I feel like I don't see it very often. I truly got better when I started to assist other artists. I got faster. I learned so much. It was the greatest school I ever had, was assisting other makeup artists that are more experienced than you. Even if you also assist people that are around your level. I really recommend you guys assist if you haven't done so already, because I feel like it gives you a little bit more credibility, and it gives you an insight as to what this industry is truly about. It will open a lot of doors. That's probably the biggest takeaway here, is make sure you assist other makeup artists at one point or another in your career, especially when you're just starting, because that's going to really help you and your business grow as time goes on. What advice can you give me on becoming a makeup artist? How do I start? There are many ways of starting this career. If you guys want to know how I started on my career, I will link my previous video down below. I spoke a little bit about how I got started. I would say education. So there are many makeup schools out there, and they aren't fully necessary, but if you have the means to go to a makeup school and learn, I 100% would recommend you do so. If the financial thing is a problem, I would recommend you start working at a counter, because that will be your greatest school. That will be a place where you work on all walks of life, and I think that is so important. When you become a professional, you have to remember, you have to know how to work on every single person, every single skin condition, every single skin tone, texture, situations. And my greatest school and how I really grew as an artist was when I worked for MAC. Working on all walks of life is gonna be the greatest investment in time that you could ever have. If you want to pursue makeup as a career, I recommend you at least find a part-time job at a counter. Doesn't matter what brand. MAC was amazing because I was amongst so many different artists, and you just learn from everybody. So MAC is a great company to work for. Makeup Forever really focuses on artistry. There's 1,000,001 companies you guys could go out and work for. I truly recommend, if you don't go to school, I at least recommend you work at a counter, especially if you're just starting. You'll get the practice, you'll work on so many different types of people. So I really recommend you guys do that. Those are all the questions I'm going to be answering today, so I hope this was helpful in some way. And if you have any other questions, you know the drill. Hit me up down below on the comments. On Instagram, I will link my Instagrams down below if you guys want to go and follow me. If you have any new ideas for videos in the future, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.